You know, I happen to like pretty much everything about Minnesota Governor Tim Walz. When Harris was doing her vetting of potential VP candidates, Walz was the one that I was rooting for. I was so happy when she picked him, and I like what he has to say. But the thing I like most about him is actually something that he's not even doing intentionally. And that is the fact that Tim Walz, his existence, has driven Republicans, especially James Comer, the Republican chair of the House Oversight Committee, he's driven them insane. Like completely off their rockers, bonkers, just by existing as a human being. Now, I've talked in the past about the fact that as soon as Tim Walz was announced as Harris's running mate, James Comer decided, we got to investigate this son of a gun. We think that he has been groomed, Comer said, by China for years and years and years for this moment. Because somehow, right, the leaders of the Chinese Communist Party, they somehow knew that this man that took some trips to China in the 80s and early 90s was eventually going to become the vice presidential nominee of the United States. So they knew then in the 80s somehow, let's groom this guy because that's totally going to happen. In order for Comer's conspiracy theory to be true, what I just said would have to be true. So right off the bat, you know, this is total BS. It's just an absolute fabrication from James Comer. But this past week, he took it one step further. He claims now, like he's claimed so many other times in other investigations over the last 2 years, he's got a whistleblower. And that whistleblower is with the Department of Homeland Security. And that whistleblower with the Department of Homeland Security says that they've got Microsoft Teams messages of other Homeland Security employees talking about Tim Walz being corrupted by the Chinese Communist Party. So, just a few hours before the debate this past Tuesday, Comer sent a subpoena to the Department of Homeland Security saying, by God, we got a whistleblower. Send us all the Microsoft Teams messages you've got. We're going to find out if this son of a gun is somehow corrupted by China. So he has now issued a subpoena for his little fake investigation based on a whistleblower that he swears totally exists. Now, here's the thing. Comer, for 2 years, along with other Republicans in the House, have told us time after time after time after time after time in all those other investigations, we got a whistleblower. We got a Hunter Biden whistleblower. Oh, now we got another Hunter Biden whistleblower. We got a whistleblower for Biden's brother. We got a whistleblower on Biden. Whistleblower here, whistleblower there. None of them actually turned out to even qualify as actual whistleblowers, and most of them were straight up lying. Some of them are in jail. So every other time James Comer has told us he has a whistleblower, it's been a complete and total fabrication, right? So do we believe him now, right? Suddenly, did anything change that makes James Comer seem like a rational, reasonable person who's totally not lying about this whistleblower after lying about the 4 or 5 others? The answer, of course, is no. James Comer is a liar. James Comer is abusing his power to try to smear this man that Kamala Harris picked as her running mate. That's what this is about. And this is an egregious abuse of power. That's the part that gets me. Why is this not being discussed more? I know Comer doesn't want it out there because he's going to end up looking like a fool like he did with all the other investigations, but this man has repeatedly for 2 straight years abused his power. So I have offered this suggestion before, and I'm going to offer it again here. If the Democrats win back the House of Representatives, the very first thing they need to do is strip James Comer of any and all power he may have. If the Republican caucus votes him onto a committee, Democrats immediately need to hold a vote to strip him of all of his committee assignments. This man has proven that he abuses his power. He does not belong in Congress at all. They should vote to expel him, but at the very least, if Democrats retake the House, strip him of all of his committee assignments for what he has done to destroy the reputation of the House of Representatives. Well, folks, we have crossed that 1 million subscriber milestone, but rest assured, we are just getting started here at Ring of Fire. So if you're not already, please do subscribe to the channel and make sure to like, share, and comment on the videos.